And you probably already know that Netflix was the winner of the bidding war for Warner Brothers. Kabuchi! Netflix will own all home box office studios, Max, home box office, and their properties. Warner. Netflix now controls all of Warner Brothers' film history. And you must be wondering what happens now, what will change, when it will change, and how intense this change will be. I'll answer all your questions starting with the next steps. Now that the Warner Brothers board of directors, Kobuchi, she advised the shareholders to sell to Netflix, and Warner accepted Netflix's offer to pay $872 billion. For reference, Fox costs $711 billion, $150 billion more. Now that this amount has been proposed and accepted, it goes to the shareholders. The shareholders will vote on whether they want this money or not, and most likely, they'll vote yes. Paramount plans to disrupt things and has already announced they'll play dirty with a hostile takeover attempt. They're going to talk directly to the shareholders and say, don't sell to Netflix, sell to me, call me, no, don't call them. That's what Paramount is going to say. They're going to try some shady tricks in the story, and if it doesn't work, they'll move on. Everything is within the expected process, which is after the shareholders' approval. And for the government, it goes to the Federal Council of Communication and Commerce. FARA gives the okay based on antitrust and anti-monopoly laws. Paramount says that Netflix absolutely cannot buy it because Netflix already has the majority of the streaming market. And adding home box office, Max, adding what Warner has, it will create a monopoly. That wouldn't happen with Skydance. And it can also try to hinder the completion of this purchase. I think that when it gets to the point of going to Congress, things are more or less settled. Lobbies have already acted, and everything is calm. They only approach the council when approval is certain, which is rare. The council reverses decisions, rejecting proposals like when it denied Disney's attempt to buy Fox. When it went to Congress, it was already settled. It was just a bureaucratic matter. Then we have a new step, which is the division of Warner Brothers. Cavalry recalls that Warner Brothers was splitting up again, becoming Warner for cinema and streaming and Discovery for television. That will still occur, and this purchase can only be made afterward. Netflix only handles some movie studios and streaming, not television channels like Cable News Network or Turner Network Television. Discovery will keep control and continue operating as a company. Before this split, there's no acquisition, and this split should happen in about 9 months, so don't expect any changes in 2026. Everything in 2026 will remain normal. Home box office will keep releasing Harry Potter, Detective Comics series, movies, and Supergirl. Normal, no drastic changes until at least 2027. Another question you might ask me is, will theaters keep distributing movies, or will the Batman Part 2 go straight to streaming? At first, Netflix has a letter of intent saying it will continue with Warner Brothers. Pictures in theaters will keep releasing movies in theaters. Projects with existing contracts completed, filming or in production or pre-production will definitely go to theaters. Starting in 2027, when the whole process is finished, we'll have this issue on the table and we'll have to make a decision. Physical media like DVDs and Blu-rays were already declining, and Netflix isn't interested in preserving them. Will collectors take this hit of not having any more Warner stuff on the shelves? Is that something that could change in the future? But at the moment, there's no intention to pause, halt, or cancel the theatrical distribution of Warner movies. Another question you might ask me is, what happens to the team? James Gunn will be fired. At first, once again, according to the Wall Street Journal, the creative team is all kept, or there might be some layoffs. Technically, if two professionals hold the same position, when companies merge, one is laid off. But the creative team, Pam Ebdi, Michael DeLuca, James Gunn, Peter Safran, everyone stays. And the acquisition will not have a direct effect on these positions. It could happen in the future. Someone leaves, someone joins, someone gets fired, someone finds another job at another company and leaves, which is normal in the market. But the purchase itself doesn't cause these layoffs. David Zaslav is a question mark because there are two options. He could succeed because he took the company from $16 to $29 per share. That's a 70% increase. It's an absurd deal. He'll come out looking good or end up with a co-chief executive officer position, an important role on the board in Warner's decisions. Would it be good to keep him? In fact, there are rumors that a position was offered to David Zaslav, but it would have affected his decision to sell to Netflix. That's an accusation made by the Paramount Skydance people, so everyone stays at the beginning. No one gets fired either. Home Box Office Max and Home Box Office are going to end. Home Box Office Max will end. Everything will be absorbed as it is, and for now, it will stay the same too. Netflix said it will keep Home Box Office Max the way it is. It will work like Disney does with Hulu. There's Disney Plus and there's Hulu. There will be Home Box Office Max, which, according to Netflix, creates an option for distributing its streaming content. Home Box Office, by the way, is a brand that creates value. It's a brand that's recognized. It's a brand of excellence, and it's important to keep it too, because it's worth a lot of money. Netflix isn't giving up on Home Box Office yet, even if it may in the future. Suddenly, like Disney Plus did with Star, which were two streaming services and then ended up being merged into one, and it all became Disney Plus. That could also happen in the future. At first, it doesn't cause an immediate cancellation of Home Box Office Max, so those are the questions. Nothing changes now or tomorrow. Aren't you going to call? Tomorrow on Netflix, Game of Thrones and Penguin won't be coming. That's not going to happen. Everything will stay the same, just like it is, at least until next year. No one is fired, everyone stays. Tomorrow and after things happen, if they happen as we're expecting, then we'll have some changes based on the market, based on the flow, and that's for the future. At the time of purchase, there is no change, there is no revolution just because of the purchase itself. If any change happens in the future, it will be from the balance and instinct, a reflection of the market itself, so there's no need to worry about any drastic change at this moment. After Netflix puts its greasy Doritos-covered hands on the catalog, Warner Brothers. That's what I wanted, for you to think about it. Until next time. This was another Cuatro Coisas video. The channel posts at least 3 videos daily, Monday to Sunday. If you liked it, here are more tips to watch. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and enable notifications for updates. Thank you very much. See you next time.